Alrighty, let's disassemble the fork. Pretty straightforward. I don't remember what Allen heads they are, but just two different sizes. Maybe take a picture of it before you start disassembling. It can be kind of intimidating with all the parts when you go to reassemble it, especially if it's been sitting for a while. But pretty easy. Okay, so pull that top portion of the shaft off. There's a cap on top. 2 elastomer balls below that, and then there's an Allen head. I don't show the Allen head. Now the balls will come out. There's also grease up inside there. Pull your washers off. A little crunchy, but still intact. I picked up new elastomers off of eBay. So this is one solid elastomer, whereas the 956 was 2 separate pieces. I had to trim 1/4 inch off so the Allen head would actually reach inside the cylinder there. So be prepared for that. I've found that brake cleaner works the best. Carburetor cleaner is good. Those numbers, those stickers on the bottom of that washer dictate which firmness of an elastomer goes onto the bike at the factory. So these elastomers, there was 2 separate ones, and one was, I think, a 40 and a 60. I don't know which is firmer, which is softer. I'm not going to need that plastic disc since there's only one elastomer. So I'm just going to go through, grease everything up, clean everything, grease everything. And that's going to be the name of the game. I think the bottom bracket is going to come off, and just check to see what things look like, how things feel. New pedals are going on, and it's just a freshening up, but keeping it pretty much all original. A little greasy grease before we put the elastomer on. Probably should have just used some like one-step type stuff that kind of cleans and it lubricates. A little grease on that one. And we'll be ready to slide that elastomer on. So, got the washer, big washer. Elastomer goes on there, then your washer, and then the tube slides over the top of that, and then there's an Allen head down inside there. Number 1 tool in the shop. I use that to clean anything metal with everything. Machinist pliers. Got a sensor we're pulling off. A little scrapey scrape and heat. Make sure it's a plastic scraper. Comes right off. Carburetor cleaner. No clear anodizing on these tubes. that is awesome. I just put a thin layer of Mother's all over it, all over the leg. Powerball. You could polish these by hand. The outcome is just about the same. Obviously, the drill is a lot less work. I just do random passes until I get to the end, and then I try to do long sweeps all the way up and down for the last passes. And then, like I said before, I use that small wheel for the nooks and crannies. You can pick those up at any hardware store. Do a little washy wash. It's the best way to get the residue off, because it can be kind of difficult. And if you're using like Simple Green or whatever, you're putting scratchers. Every time you pass up and down with a towel, it's putting scratches in it, especially dry. Make sure you don't fill the tube full of water, because there's 2 holes in it, 1 or 2 holes, and make sure it's completely dry before stickers. And make sure you dry it, or else there will be water spots on the legs. eBay reproduction stickers. Little isopropyl alcohol, and then a dry side. I always cut just like the frame. Half of the backer off. Frame, I say, the 956 that I'm putting together. So you can place it and the whole thing doesn't stick down. Start from the center, no matter whether you're going up and down or back and forth, and then slide the rest of the backer off. Easy peasy. This 755 is super clean. I'm just lubing and adjusting and cleaning. The 956 that I'm putting together, which I'm starting just with the frame, that one is a complete build. I'm actually using this video of the 755 legs for that video, or that build video. All right, so we've got everything put back together, and I think it came out pretty good. We'll do a little test action here, and then I've got a picture of the 956 fork in comparison, but there's actually a couple inches of suspension going here. Looks pretty clean. It's all lubricated up and functioning like it should. Not too bad. And here we have the finished 956 fork in comparison. Got the aluminum stem. A little bit different, but basically the same. All right, let's slap some new tires on and new tubes, rim strips. I've got the ground control tires on the 956, the Klein Mantra, which will be a video down the road. And we're gonna do a little scrubby scrub here. Simple Green, a little bit of carburetor cleaner sparingly. in the really grimy parts. Do a little wipe down, get all the nooks and crannies. And I ended up pulling the crankset and cogs off to clean those. Looks pretty good. Everything looks good. New pedals are going on, and we're going to lube and adjust next. Okay, let's do a little clean. Simple green, I've been using that forever. It's not too harsh, but gets the job done. Throw a little wax on it. Polish it up. It's all original. Never been touched. Greg's Green Lake Cycle. I actually bought a bike from them when I was a kid. Spent a lot of time down there. We're just doing a little makeover. Some wide bars. There's Bud and or Kevin putting the original controls back on. Grip shift, new grip shift. I want to keep it simple because this is the girlfriend's bike. We're putting a new bottom bracket, Holotech, and it's a 68 millimeter bottom bracket, 2 spacers on the drive side, 1 spacer on the non-drive side. It's just a cheap Buckaloo 32 tooth sprocket and crank, platform pedals. Yeah, I wanted to keep it fairly original. It's still got the cantilever lever brakes. The other ProFlex I did was a little bit, because I started with the frame and fork, and that's all I did. So I think we're looking pretty clean, pretty shiny, fresh, and new. I'm going to swap the seat from the Klein Mantra onto that bike. There is the 956 that I just got done doing. Got the one up, except that's an 11 speed. The blue bike is still an 8 speed. We'll see how rideable it is. Probably not very good on the trails. And that's the next bike I'm going to put an XT drivetrain in.